Hi, welcome to this week's Tuesday 2x2. I'm Karen Walker. I'm an executive coach and consultant, author. Each week I record a short 2-minute video that will look at 2x2. Basically, that's two concepts that, when juxtaposed, give us 4 quadrants to talk about. Often, but not always, the quadrant on the upper right is the optimum place to be, what Gardner Research calls the magic quadrant. So this week we're going to look at 2 concepts having to do with management as well as leadership. On the horizontal axis we'll look at feedback. Do you give feedback or not? And on the vertical axis we'll look at how competent is the employee that you're giving feedback to. So let's start with the bottom left-hand quadrant. This is the area I call the washout. So this is an employee who has little competence and gets little feedback. So there's no hope that this employee is going to get any better. The sooner that you recognize this, the better, and wash them out of the organization. If not, they will wash out on their own. Now in the upper left hand, we have what I call the good for now quadrant. So this is an employee that, if asked, would say, I'm good. But they have competence, but they are not getting any feedback. And the issue here is that they will degrade over time if they don't get feedback, because there's no such thing as a steady state in an organization, right? Their jobs will change, the requirements for their position will change, their technical specialty will change, and if they're not getting feedback, that performance will degrade. It can degrade either because you're not giving feedback or possibly because they're not asking for it. So important to give feedback even to competent employees. Now on the bottom right-hand side, this is the employee that's on the cusp, right? This is someone with poor performance or low competence in an area, but is getting feedback. You're available and willing to give them feedback. So this employee will either move up or move out. If the employee gets feedback and they do something with it and you see behavior change, they're going to move up to the upper right-hand quadrant. If you give them feedback and they don't have behavior change, then they're going to move to the left and they're going to be part of the washout group. So it's a really important place to recognize when your employees are there so that you can do something about it. Now we get to the upper right-hand quadrant, sort of the better and better space. So this is in the virtual cycle of improvement. This is where an employee is doing well and they get feedback, and so they continue to improve and just get better and better. I would say our best employees, the best people that I work around, want feedback and in fact will not work somewhere where they can't get feedback. And so they'll get feedback both because they want it and because they're working with a leader who is willing to give it to them. So those are the 4 quadrants of looking at feedback versus competence. Thanks for joining me this week. If you want more information about this 2x2 or any other, please sign up for my newsletter at my homepage at karenwalker.us. And on any social media site, you can follow me and get more information at karenwalkerus. I would love to hear how this is applied to you and to your organization if you leave comments in the boxes below. Thanks so much and take good care. See you next week.